Hey, what's up, Hood News peeps? We're on TV now. I'm so excited. Yes. I got my boy Hector with me. I couldn't think of anybody better to come out here and do this with me. What's up, Hector?
Hey, what's up? Welcome to Hood News Unfiltered. Grizzy, thank you so much for doing everything you've done for the community. So excited about the future. There's so many crazy things that happen in Houston.
Yeah, for sure. We're going to be discussing all kinds of topics. Good stuff, fun stuff, hood stuff. And yeah, we're really excited about this. I mean, we're out here, we just want to share these stories.
Yeah, and there's so many things that happen in the city, and Houston's one of the largest cities in the country.
Yes.
So if you're watching, be a part of the movement. We welcome you. We extend our arms to you guys. Come be a part, watch, enjoy. And we're excited about bringing what's real to you. And if it's real news,
it's Hood News.
Grizzy, you've been around now for a couple of years now, and you have we saw it yesterday, we counted the followers, over 1 million followers.
Yeah, that's wild.
Following the Hood News
Yes.
on multiple platforms. What started it all?
Midlife crisis. I don't know. Like the empty nest syndrome is a real thing. Shout out to all our single moms out there. Kids leave and you're left with like, what do I do next? So I had I worked for a corporation. And I was kind of getting just bored. So I found myself, I've always liked to film things at red lights, like outside my house. Like I live in the hood. So there's always an opportunity to capture craziness on video. If you live in the hood, So that definitely was how it started. Hi, this is Grizzy, and I'm live with the Hood News for today.
And what year was this?
This was 2019 outside a store. I just went out with a karaoke mic tucked into my purse, and I decided, you know what? I'm going to try doing this and just having fun with it. And definitely, I had just gotten out of work, and I had no idea what to do.
Yeah, and this is the very first Hood News video.
Yes, you can tell it's old because the Beats headphones. My goodness. I had people in the parking lot passing by looking at me. The firefighters, they didn't even know what to do. They're like, what is she doing?
So in 2019, it started a movement.
Yes.
And now we're over 1 million followers.
Yeah.
Why do you think people follow the Hood News?
Well, it's real. It's relatable news. It's not somebody dressed in a suit that has no clue what's going on in the area or in the neighborhood telling you what's going on. It's one friend to another. It's a community. It's like neighbors. Me and you, we're cool.
Yeah.
We're going to tell each other. We're going to believe each other more than somebody from the outside trying to tell us what's going on.
Right. And, a voice for the people.
Exactly.
And people resonate with that voice to the people. So from here, you started, you went from here and then you started growing.
Yeah. It started off as comedy. Yeah. And I was covering a lot of car shows, Lab Sundays. And then it just turned into, Grizzy, we need help. Can you, help us, raise money for Crime Stopper reward? Can you use your platform for this? And before I knew it, I was doing traffic updates, crime scenes. I was going out to all these different things, and it became Grizzy's Hood News. It was really wild. So everybody knows a big part of the Hood News is the live feeds and the recordings. And when we go live, it goes pretty viral. We follow a lot of law enforcement at nighttime, and we get to appreciate and see what they do. We have a segment called the Hood News Olympics, the Hood Olympics. And the 2023, we just want to do an honorable mention of Hector. Check this out. What do you think?
Well, my first question is, what is a truck doing in the middle of the bayou?
Well, at 1:30 a.m., a lot of Hood News peeps, woke up to live notification, and they got to be with us, and they got to see that somebody crashed. This guy drove into a bayou after a pursuit. He was stealing cable, like wires. Yeah, out of a church. And officers followed him, and he tried to evade. So he eventually landed into a bayou in Northeast Houston.
And obviously it's cold because I can see the steam coming from the water.
Yes.
The helicopter's up above, the spotlight on the truck. So they're still looking for him, right?
Yeah, they're still looking for him. We didn't know where he was. Everybody thought at one point, dang, poor guy, did the truck land on him? Or because nobody saw him running off. So they closed off the area, and they used some kind of device that's able to pick up the heat.
Like thermal technology, right?
Yeah, so some kind of thermal technology.
Where was he hiding at?
He was under the vegetation and a bunch of litter, like a Whataburger wrapper on top of him.
This guy came out looking like a patty melt.
Yeah, for real. So there he is right there. This never stops shocking me. I mean, and he led them on a swim pursuit. And we nicknamed him the Aquaman Bandit.
Yeah, and that water is nasty. I mean, you got like diseases, you got all kinds. We got what typhoid in there.
Yes, you need a tetanus shot. Not even the canine wants to go in there, and I don't blame none of them. Oh my goodness, this guy's he's athletic. I mean, he starts swimming.
Oh, this guy's Michael Phelps.
Yeah. The hood Michael Phelps. So this guy had clothes on, and he started losing all his clothes in the middle of all that.
Yeah, and how long does this go on?
I want to say about a good 15 minutes. He just keeps swimming, and I mean, it's just about letting him get worn out, I guess.
Shout out to the police officers that are out there, and the men and women in blue out there. You know, you don't want to be out 2 a.m. It's freezing cold. You don't want to be in that water. No. I don't blame them for not jumping in there.
Oh, for sure. But I mean, it just goes to show our men and women of law enforcement, like, we have a huge appreciation for what they do.
Yeah, I have comments here. Jennifer says that, you know, them cops are like, I ain't going in there. He'll come out eventually. I don't blame them either. Les, she says that, so we are all up to 2 a.m. watching this. 2 a.m.
Oh, yeah. I had thousands of people watching. That was kind of crazy because I'm thinking 1 a.m. nobody's going to watch this video. No, we had a lot of Houstonians out there.
165,000 views on this. And then Giovanna, she says, who needs Netflix?
Yeah. Man, that's crazy.
So they end up catching this guy.
Yeah, they end up catching him. You know, he comes out with I mean, no. Oh, there he goes. Like, I mean, the full Monty. He was out in his birthday suit. They rounded him up, loaded him into an ambulance. They did give him a blanket. Yeah. And poor officers, you know, they had to wait to be relieved of duty so they could go and change clothes. So, yeah, shout out to HPD.
But, yeah, the things that we see, that you see in the middle of the night, right? So what times of the night do you typically say it's wild and crazy? Like, you see, I want to say like
between the witching hours are like 1 and 4 a.m. 1 a.m. and 4 a.m. It's like a lot. I don't know if it's because it's less people. The bandits come out at night. The freaks come out at night too. I don't know. It's just crazy. So
if you're watching this, make sure that 1 to 4 a.m. you do not want to be seen on the Hood News between that time frame. Don't do this. Just stay away from this.
Yeah.
But he is our 2023 Hood Olympian,
yes,
right?
Gold medalist,
yes. The Michael Phelps of the Hood,
yes,
down one of the bayous here at Houston at 2 in the morning.
Yeah. We've never seen anything like this. You can't make this stuff up.
You know what, Grizzy? There's so many accidents that are happening here in Houston, and it's not just car accidents, but also plant explosions. I remember a few years ago there was a huge plant explosion, and there was smoke covering Houston for days. I'm sure you remember that. And if you're listening, you remember, you know, it's part of life here in Houston where plants explode. So if you're working in a factory, if you're working out in plants, or heck, if you even got in a car wreck, there is an advocate that will fight for you and fight against these insurance companies. That is our proud sponsors, the Hollingsworth Law Firm. Steve Hollingsworth has many years of experience in fighting for justice and fighting for the community. He's great at what he does, and I could tell you right now, I personally know Steve. Great guy, great team over there. And if you're looking for an advocate to fight in your corner, the Hollingsworth Law Firm is it. Look them up online, thehollingsworthlawfirm.com, or on social media, Hollingsworth Law Firm. They also go known as El Patron de la Ley.
All right, Hector. So get a load of this. I mean, Chevy truck culture is really huge in Houston. You know, we've got guys ride around in their Chevy trucks. So this story went pretty viral as well.
Yeah, I saw this all over TikTok. Yeah, it was all over TikTok. I think it went viral even in San Antonio too as well. So
what happened here was that a young man decided to pull over, and he did something for the Instagram. I don't know, but he took off with Aranda's Bakery's 30-year Mascot that they've had sitting out there. It's been propped up against a tree or in the ground, and this guy took a Mascot that's been placed there in honor of one of the founders. And it's just crazy. Like, they went on a tour. This Mascot that you see here that looks like a little Pillsbury Doughman, this Mascot went on a trip all the way to San Antonio.
Yeah, I saw that. This is off Airline, right?
Yes, off of Airline. Yeah, shout out to the north side.
So we went off to San Antonio, and they realized the next day that this guy was missing.
Yeah, and so, you know, our friends from Aranda's Bakery reached out, and they're like, Grizzy, can you help us get this back? Because it symbolizes something, and it's got a lot of personal, sentimental value. So I posted, I'm like, hey guys, look, the owners wanted no problems. They just wanted the return back. Please, they realized that this was a kid. So we asked the public, I'm like, hey, help us find whoever took this, no questions asked, return it, and we'll get it. Well, a young man reached out to me. He says, look, I'm out of town right now on work. I've got it with me. El Panadero, that's the name of this figurine. El Panadero is the mascot. And he says, I will return it on Friday. So the audience had a lot of fun with this as well. I mean, the memes were just like nonstop.
During that time, I saw it on TikTok. I saw pictures of it over at Bombshells, I think, right? It was at Bombshells.
Yes, look, there he is. Look, he's posing with a bunch of hot chicks. Oh, man.
And then he went to San Antonio, went to SeaWorld. This guy went to SeaWorld.
Yes.
Went to go say, hey, what's up to Shamu?
Yeah, he was at the Alamo. There were sightings of him all over the place.
So it was gone for about 4 or 5 days.
Yeah, on Friday, the news stations, not wanting to give me, props or anything, they nicknamed me the negotiator.
Yeah.
And they're like, okay, the people that took it are working with the negotiator to have the return of it. Well, they returned it on Friday. These nice young men returned it on Friday. And yeah, it was returned, and lots of people, it just drew so much attention. The owners not wanting to miss out on an opportunity to make something positive of something negative. They made little baby breads, like the little baby panaderos. I'm glad that they did the right thing. Now, a lot of audience members, they were feeling two ways about it. Okay, oh, they're young. Other people were quite upset. Right? Yeah, like, hey, we want to see them pay for that. So yeah, it was a mix, but
I think at the end of the day, it goes to where they took it from, right?
Yes.
So if Arandas was in there and they say, hey, you know what, we just want it back. Nobody was really hurt from this. Yeah. Obviously, when I'm not justifying it, I'd say don't do this at all.
Don't take anything
it doesn't belong to you. Don't be touching it. Don't be taking it.
Or you will be on the Hood News.
You're right. I'm glad that it turned out well. But we have some comments here. Michael says, gives it a 3 out of 10 for leaving the tailgate up and lifting it over. So he failed at these guys failed at the Hood News Olympics.
Oh yeah, they're out of there.
We have Deanna. She says, wow, wasn't even smart enough to park the truck closer.
I mean, yeah, like nobody's ever really thinking when they commit these crimes. Like, dude, there's a camera rolling. Hey, folks at home, there are cameras rolling everywhere. Everywhere. All right, Hector. So entering the new year, a lot of people celebrate different ways. What did you do for New Year's?
Oh, you want me to tell you the truth?
Yeah.
I was in bed at 8:30 at night. I had texted you. Remember I said, Grizzy, before I go to sleep, Happy New Year's.
Yes, you did. You did. Yeah. He did, you guys. All right, so I stayed up because I already knew Hood News was going to be off the charts, and it was. We had a lot of celebratory gunfire. Now, a lot of people know that's a no-go. I mean, what goes up
must come down.
Yep.
And this stuff it's dangerous. I mean, every year we're hearing about, people who are getting shot, some people are getting hurt, and some unfortunately also getting killed by bullets that are falling from the sky. And we're bringing this to light not because obviously we don't want this to be something that's continued. We want to bring light to this because it's dangerous, and tell people, hey, next year when this happens, you're going to be on Hood News, and the right people is going to get in the right people's hands, and they're going to go after you. Yeah,
we saw a lot of ladies too, man. Ladies just popping off, and young people. We even saw one dad hand a kid a pew-pew. And we call it pew-pew just to be funny, but man, just crazy
But they're just shooting up in the air, not understanding what's going to happen. I mean, eventually it's coming down. It's going to land somewhere.
Yeah, and we did have some incidents of people getting hurt.
Yeah, in fact, I got a message here from one of the Hood News peeps saying the reasons why we found a bullet hole in our house and our roof after the holiday season last year, it could have been so much more worse. This is infuriating. So, people have been, victims to these things, and they see these people who are out there shooting guns up in the air, and with no regard to others and life of others too as well. Yeah, because kids, I think there was a kid that
a little kid got grazed. Yep, for sure. And then another little child off of a Shady Park somewhere in the northeast part of Houston. And we're gonna use these people as great tools. This is a great learning tool, like what not to do.
So, Grizzy, HPD has been reaching out to the community and trying to bring awareness to this. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, they went all out this year. They had banners everywhere, and I took a picture of one or two from Crime Stoppers for people to report, these incidents. Unfortunately, there is a big fear from someone to face repercussions and whatnot. So they know they can count on the Hood News. Hey, you might not be able to call it in, but if we put it out there, we'll see what happens. They were asking the public to, be more careful, be advised. They always do. But I noticed that this year there was more like a campaign behind it, like
a big push behind it. I think you even posted recently there was a billboard about 59 New York.
Exactly, right there in the hood. Yep, right there by 7 Mile.
In San Antonio, I saw on national news that San Antonio made the news for the fireworks that's all over the skyline.
Oh yeah.
In Houston, unfortunately, we have an issue with people shooting guns,
yes.
and we don't want to make this a trend that makes Houston. Maria says, this is what you call irresponsible, shaking my head. I pray no one got hurt from their choices.
Right.
Sarah says, and this right here is why I was scared to walk out on my own backyard on New Year's Eve. Our whole neighborhood was doing this.
Oh, yeah. Some neighborhoods are more rowdier than others. So yeah. I feel for them. All right, Hector. So this is where things get a little more serious on this show because, in the hood, there's a lot of code. And one of the codes is kids and elderly people are off limits. Well, somebody really messed up.
So what's going on here?
All right, so we got an elderly man with Alzheimer's. His wife goes into the store real quick. She's just going to go in for one ingredient, come right back out. He gets out of the vehicle, and he decides to go back to his car, and he grabs the wrong door to the wrong car. Meanwhile, we've got a lady that goes into a pawn shop, and she's got 2 people with her. Those guys run up on this elderly man with no understanding, and he gets assaulted. He gets assaulted and robbed of his phone and wallet.
Poor guy.
Yeah, when we shared this, literally I cried before even posting this. I was so upset. Family reached out. They just wanted these people identified. And guess what?
Yeah,
they got them.
And these guys they're in their like 20s or something. They're young.
Yeah.
They're athletic. They got full power. This guy is, defenseless.
Why not ask him or a gentle nudge like, hey, just move out the way, and not, what was so sad, Hector, is that nobody stopped to help him.
Yeah, I see the truck pulling out there, and I see that, and nobody's sitting there coming around and say, hey, take it easy on this guy.
Mm-hmm. You see trucks and cars pass by. You see people get out, because they're gonna go into the store on foot. And they don't do anything. These people, look at this, just a mess.
Poor guy. And the thing is, like I said, this guy's just innocent, just trying to get back to his car.
Yes, an elderly man, and he was, hospitalized. He had fractures to his face, and it's just really sad. But the public was so outraged that they did a full come on down. Like these guys were identified, and then guess what? They went to jail.
Nice. Mm-hmm. How quickly did it turn around for them to get
like
caught?
right away. I want to say it wasn't even a full 48 hours. I don't think it was like a few days. But from the time they were identified was almost immediately. The public was that outraged that we had all kinds of tipsters messaging and talking about these individuals and all the stuff that they were up to. So it was felt pretty good for the hood. That was a win for the hood to get these guys off the street.
Yeah, these things right here, they're happening every day. And, we are a voice to the victims, too, as well. As we got to make sure that we shed light on this stuff because we want to make sure that these things don't happen. Look at this guy. This guy looks like he's actually excited about doing it. Look at that.
Yeah.
It doesn't stop.
No, it's just brutal. It's just brutal. It takes a special kind of evil, I guess you could say, for somebody to do this to somebody that's so defenseless. He even walks across him. Look at him.
And what is there? Do you get any other news as far as like why or what they were saying, why they continued, or any other information?
I have no idea. These people, I would love to interview them, like ask them, like really have a conversation, like what were you thinking? And they were arrested. Look at them, hands behind your back. Yeah, I wanted to really yell that. And these guys, the friend, he might have thought that maybe nothing was going to happen to him, but just for being there and not stopping him, he gets charged with the same crime as the guy that was beating down the elderly.
Guilty by association.
There you go. Like, hey, friends, watch who you mess with. Seriously.
Yep. A real friend's going to pull you away from that situation, not help you and sit back and not do anything. Hopefully he's sitting there telling him to get in the car, but prayers to this family, and hopefully this guy's recovering. Hopefully he's okay.
Yeah, I'm sure he's shooken up. Definitely. And prayers for the family. And shout out to the detectives that, worked fast to get these guys off the streets.
All right, listen, check it out. If you have a news tip that you want to share, make sure you go to the Grizzy's HoodNews.com or go to Facebook, send a message. And if you got any videos, information, tips, or whatever, feel free to shoot it over.
Yeah, thank you so much, Hector, for bringing that up, because a lot of people are always asking, where do we send it to? If you try to send it to my personal phone, I promise I don't read text messages. I am working out of these messengers.
And there's so much happening in the city that's happening every day.
Everywhere.
Right? Every day.
Yeah.
I was talking a few years back to an HPD sergeant, and they told me, Hector, only about 10% of what happens in the city is actually covered by news.
Yeah, that's very true.
Because there's so much that's happening. There's so much that's happening. And we got to be, look out for each other. But thank God there's Grizzy's Hood News to be that voice of the people in the community. And also thank God for you guys who are watching and supporting the Hood News and this movement. That is just the tip of the iceberg of what's happening. If you want to watch what's happening in the city, make sure you log into Grizzy'sHoodNews.com, X, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, all the social media platforms, because stuff is happening every day.
Every day, yes.
Also, if you're watching, we are going to be at one of the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo's pre-cook-offs. I'm excited about that.
Yeah, I am too. I don't ever get out much, and I said, you know what? I want to go to that. I said, Hector, let's go. Let's all go to this event. So we're really looking forward to it. Anybody wants to come out and join us?
Get some good food.
Yes,
we're actually going to be
judges.
Yes. We ain't cooking, but we're going to be eating. I'm going to be eating.
Yeah.
But you know what? We're going to be out there. It's going to be on Wallaceburg Road. It's going to be on Saturday, January 13th from 12 p.m. to 3:30 p.m. Me and Grizzy will be there eating some good barbecue. Come join us. We're going to have some giveaways. The Grizzy's Hood News promotions team will be out there too. For more information, go to Grizzy'sHoodNews.com. Grizzy, anything you want to say before we close?
Man, I just want to thank everybody. This is not possible without the followers, without the support of the community. Let's have each other's back in 2024. Let's continue to look out for one another. Let's continue to be the voice for those that may not have the strength. We've seen a lot of stuff today, and, we just want to keep focused and help everybody where possible. So it's not possible without you all.
And if it's real news,
it's Hood News.